This particular session, we'll finish off. As I said, we're highlighting. This is what revision means. Nice cold brew, Tariq. So yes, thank you very much. Have a hot and a cold one in each hand, because I mean, with the mixed weather that you have in Gauteng, you don't know which one you're going to need next. At the moment, I have some medicine in my one hand and some water in my other, because I just have to keep on taking a lot of liquids, because nothing else is staying in at the moment. So anyway, I'm not going to go into more graphics on exactly how I feel at the moment. I think I told you at the start of the session. I don't feel well. But anyway, we'll shoulder on, because that's what we do. And for this session today, the slides that we'll upload, the PDF, and for your preparation as well, people, you know that you have all the chapters. It's all there. It's been uploaded. It's there every week. Last week we finished with the revision on chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's a PDF and all the recordings in the live sessions on Canvas for that, and we'll have 3 similar to that for this week. We'll have chapter 5, 6, 7, and 8. We'll have what we'll do tomorrow, which will be chapter 9 to 12, and then 13, 14, and 15 on Friday. Okay, it's revision. It's not repeating work that we've done. It's just touching on specific concepts that's of importance in each particular chapter. That's why we start every chapter with a nice summary of what we want to achieve in this particular chapter, what's important in chapter 7. It's important that we know how to plan a sales call, what the pre-approach process is, what call objectives. Remember that image that you had to do, those 4 steps in the planning a sales call in your assignment, and then have a sort of idea with the information that you've obtained, what your potential customer looks like. You've never met, and very often when you speak to somebody on the phone, you can't really paint a picture of what that person looks like. Sometimes when you do see the person for the first time, you're, oh my goodness, I never that voice and face, I never pictured together. What you want to do, because you're going to be dealing with 5 or 6 prospects. No, you'll be dealing with hundreds and thousands of prospects in your career of sales. And you're not going to remember everyone. But sometimes there's something distinctly different. I'm very bad when it comes to names. And I think most of us are. But I think we are reasonably okay with faces. That's one of the challenges I usually have when we had, apology, when we pre-COVID still had contact sessions on class every single day. It was difficult at the start of the year, because if you've got 200, 300, 400 new first-year students who attend class in 5, 6 different modules for a particular course, you have to only remember 5 or 6 names of lecturers. You have to remember all 300, 400 of your names. So it made it very difficult. So I consciously try and picture my students, or try and teach myself to form an image of my students in my head, 2 or 3 every week. It's difficult at the start, because I think that will be, I'd be very happy with the fact that if we can have some form of identification if you're on campus. We're talking about name tags and stuff like that. Then I can see, because I like to, when I go to the shop, I like it in a retail environment where the, the people are carrying a name tags. Because when I fill up my car with petrol, when I buy something at the supermarket, I love to make eye contact with the person that I'm dealing with, regardless how important their job is or not, um, and also call them on their name. People want to be called on their name. It's it's we like to belong somewhere, so we want to hear our name. Obviously, we have said, and we will repeat it in later chapters when we do revision. You're obviously not going to be that familiar with new customers from the start, and treat them as friends. That often happens also um, with students who become very familiar with their lecturers very early on in a course, for instance. You know what? Times are different. We we are not like 15, 20, 30 years ago, where I think before you learned your name, uncle and auntie and thank you and please, the words that you were taught um, before you even started learning your own name. I'm not suggesting that the current generation is different to such an extent that they are disrespectful. It's horses for courses. It's different, but again, when you're dealing with a new customer, please ensure that you rather, even if you don't see them on the phone, that you don't become too familiar, but that you do paint some picture for yourself on what you think that person might look like based on the voice that you've heard on the phone when you spoke to them. Right. Planning your sales call. Planning, planning, planning. Very, very important. If you don't plan, you don't know later on what to evaluate it against, because you don't know if you've achieved your goals because you haven't planned for anything in particular. I know there are some salespeople who just fly by the seat of their pants, but you know what? At some point, you're going to get in a situation where insufficient planning is going to explode in your face. Okay. Why do we plan? It gives us confidence. If you practice your script, for instance, it gives you confidence because you have gone through all the potential questions that a customer might ask, and you feel more prepared. It is just more professional if you have an answer ready for and don't necessarily battle to find words to answer a question, because that leaves a bad unprofessional image to the customer, because they think, oh, this person doesn't know what he's talking about. He's obviously searching through a manual or textbook just to see what the model answer is. People pick it up, and then then that sale's done. It's done in the sense of it's not going to happen. If you plan, you save time. We did that in our first chapter this morning, or earlier this afternoon, when the time management and managing your own, managing yourself. It saves you time if you plan. I love planning. There's other areas that I can improve, but I tell you what, I'm always, and I think maybe it's because it's in my genes, because my dad was in sales for many, many years. And one of the lessons that he learned me is that you never, 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 never late for a meeting. That's almost sort of the first impression that you're unprepared if you're late for a meeting. The other benefit of planning, it helps you and prepares you to be flexible because you have planned for different scenarios. Okay. What are the 4 steps in the planning of a sales call? This is the image I referred to when that you did in your assignment. Setting objectives, gathering information, developing a profile of the prospect, so you have as much information as possible, and then obviously that all together results in you planning and developing a presentation. The presentation um, is not just your planning is not just for, and you have not started your planning at this point for your actual presentation, your visit to the customer, or their visit to your showroom, for instance. This is still just planning a presentation that's going to happen telephonically when you first call them to make the appointment, not to make the sale, not to sell the product, but to sell the appointment. Right. What happens in chapter 8? In chapter 8, we deal with the sales presentation. There are a few things that we obviously have to cover. This is the chapter and specifically that we dealt with fab and with sell. Okay. Anybody before we start? Fab? What's fab again? Fab is not short for fabulous. What is fab again? In the context of selling? What does that acronym mean? Thank you, Luwanda. Are you on campus, Luwanda? Okay, because I thought this morning I would have been very, very annoyed. Fortunately, I have the stomach bug, so I was definitely not traveling anywhere today, further than 5 kilometers away from my bathroom, or 5 meters from my bathroom, sorry. And then I was literally, as I said, I felt so bad that I only got up just after 12 o'clock, which is, then you know I'm sick. And then the next thing, I think I was barely awake, and this WhatsApp comes through, stage 4 load shedding from 12 o'clock today, all the way through to Friday. Fantastic. Thanks for nothing. So imagine you planned everything for the day and literally you were going to campus. You've taken 3 taxis and 5 trains and maybe walked 5 kilometers as well. And you get there and ESCOM says after 5 minutes of you arriving, you know what? Nothing's going to happen today because we're going to take your power. So it is challenging. I feel very, very bad for the grade 12s who have started with their final exams today. Yeah, it's just, anyway, I'm not going to dwell on this. It is what it is, and we have to work around it. And I think we've done very well, but also at some point, like with the Protea cricket team yesterday, at some point you need to put your foot down and say, no, not anymore. Right. So, what is the approach? Approach is the time from when the salesperson first sees the buyer until they begin to discuss the product. That's you waiting. Maybe, for instance, there's a reception area where you announce yourself, and the receptionist says, "Please take a seat, Mr. So and so will with you just now." That's part of it. That's all part of the approach. This is where also you can drop the ball because first impressions are very, very important. If the person does not immediately engage with you before you even opened your mouth, you are catching up all the time to try and convince that individual that you are the right person to deal with, that your company is the right company, offering the products that would be able to satisfy your need with the products that they offer. Right. We've had different approaches that we can take. It's something that we have also addressed previously. Again, I'm not going to go through each of them individually. Revision doesn't mean repeating everything that we've done. It means that we're looking at specific aspects. And I'm going to highlight maybe one or two where the introduction could be, for instance, you sticking out your hand, greeting the person. Okay, that's not nowadays, I think, always acceptable. Introducing yourself. Hi, my name is so and so. I'm from this and this company. Thank you for your time. There we go. That's the introduction. You can also open with, hi, my name is Frank. I'm from Bollywood. Geez, you look quite nice today. I mean, that's quite. I like blue's a good color on you. That's people like compliments. Timing, however, needs to be very good. Again, it's a fine line between being familiar and being complimentary. Another approach that I think a method that is used is the one of the referral, where you say, hi, my name is John. Thank you for your time, sir. The reason why I'm here is because so-and-so referred me to you. They said you might be interested because they were very happy with the product that we offer, and they thought that you might also be interested. Okay, I'm not going to go through, as I said, every single one of these methods. Like I won't go through every single page of what we have covered. The summarized versions focus on the aspects that's not more important, but that form the backbone of a particular chapter. Right. What's a sales presentation? We saw what the approach is. What's a sales presentation? Sales presentation is quite simply a vocal or a visual or a combination of an explanation of an organization's products and services that you offer. This is what we offer. You talk, you show, usually a combination of the two. There are a few methods that's used. Not sure if you can still recall them. The memorized method, formula method, need satisfaction, stimulus response, problem solving, or the group presentation. The memorized one, I'm quickly just going to go through each of them. The memorized one is where you have prepared a particular script. You take charge of the conversation. You do not allow the prospect to contribute. And then once you're finished, you offer them the opportunity to ask questions. The formula is when you start off by giving information, then you allow them to give input, then you continue. So you do not complete your entire presentation. You do it in little sections. After each section, you ask questions until you complete it with your entire one. Need satisfaction, that is highlighting and focusing on how this particular product that you are selling is going to satisfy the need that the customer has. So, for instance, the reason why I'm here today, sir, is because in your particular industry, I know it's cutting edge and you have to be at the front of the queue all the time. This particular product that I'm going to demonstrate to you today is going to give you that competitive advantage, or it's going to have you keep the competitive advantage that you currently have. None of your competitors know about a product like this yet. And I think the specific need that it can satisfy is A, B, C, and D, and you mention it. Stimulus response. You basically stimulate the interest, for instance, by putting the product or a sample of the product on the table in front of the customer, where the customer can see it. It's not, sometimes salespeople keep it in a bag or a box or whatever, and at the specific point to bring it out. Here you open with that. You actually put the item on the table. We can see it from the first minute. It's part of your presentation, and very often the customer looks at it and he knows that it's there. It's every time you refer to a specific feature, they can see it because it's right in front of them. It's not that showing it to them at the end is basically just confirming what you have said verbally. It's visible the whole time, and as a result of that, quite often there's a response. Problem solving is where you have done your homework in your planning. You know that there's a specific problem that the customer has had within maybe a machine or a particular piece of equipment that they, for instance, have been using a multi-purpose fax copier, printer, and they weren't too happy with it because not all the functions were working equally efficient. And you know that their problem is that they pay a lot and they have to replace the toner on that machine quite regularly. So by addressing that problem, as I say, with this particular item or this new product that we have out there, it will cut your cost on a toner by 50%. It's been proven with a lot of our other customers. It's one of the new features of this particular product. It actually picks up a week before the toner is going to be finished. It informs you and it informs us. It's a very smart machine, this. And then we know exactly when you're going to run out of toner. We can actually assist you before you even know that you're going to have a problem. Because there's nothing that you want that's more embarrassing than you wanting to make a copy of a contract for a customer and then you've run out of toner and you can't print. Group presentations is where basically you are presenting to maybe the board of directors, 5, 6, 7 people, all the decision makers, all the people in a position of authority to conclude a transaction are there and are present. You do your presentation, and each of them, based on their field of expertise, will ask you specific questions. FAB, as we said earlier, features, advantages, and benefits. Always sell the benefits. Try and sell the benefits of the product. This new Golf, sir, tell you what, because of the ABS brakes, woohoo! Tell you what, you're going to be better in corners than Lewis Hamilton. Well, not on the weekend. Verstappen was actually quite amazing in Texas. Not as amazing as Salah in the Man United game, but sorry, I've learned now over years to be as arrogant as Man United supporters, because usually when they win, they are in your face for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then when they lose, they are quiet. They actually block your phone calls and stuff like that. Okay, but I'm not like that. But I'm going to take all opportunities I have this week to just say, good luck. You're leaving some of your best players on the bench. Anyway, somebody else's problem, not our problem. Elements of the sell sequence. Sell means that when you do stress the benefits of the product, you will show the features, explain the advantages that they have in leading up to closing with the benefit. Okay. It's very important to throughout the whole presentation to allow enough opportunity for the customer to also contribute. They are the ones who's going to buy the product. You're not going to be there. You're going to sell the product. You're going to go. I mean, and then they're on their own. So let them get involved in the whole process and be as involved as possible in the whole process when you're trying to persuade them to buy a particular product. I've included a small little message for each of these sessions. This is the time of year, people, that you don't change your game plan. You stick to what has worked for you, and you prepare in the same manner. You trust that you have done the work, but only if you have done the work. Okay. You have to start planning now already, if you haven't, for your exam. I know there's a study week next week, but the study week next week means that there's no classes. It means that you actually have every day, you've got a complete new routine. You don't have to get up at a certain time, jump in front of your computer, wait for log in for the online session. You are going to be tested in how well you can manage your time, because that's basically what any exam is. Some of us have lives that will continue. Some of us have part-time jobs. Some of us are full-time employees. The fact of the matter is, this is where time management is actually most evident. And I trust that you have learned all the lessons that will help you to prepare for your exams. As we discussed last week, I'm going to go back to bed immediately after this class, because we're going into load shedding anyway, so there's not much I can do. Hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow, but my apologies. I will post an announcement at my earliest convenience, probably not later than tomorrow, on Canvas, just to remind you that because you're only writing on the 19th of November, closer to that time, closer to that date, we are going to quickly have another totally, completely voluntary session. It's not part of your timetable. It's not on your timetable, but I want to just be available for you. So latest possible time available, closest to your exam, bearing in mind all the other modules that you write, to maybe quickly just run over a few final aspects. Okay, but I will post that, and we can discuss that in class today or tomorrow. Okay, everybody fine at the moment? How are you doing? You feel that you still have a class after this, right? Or is Ms. van Skoor not back yet? Still on honeymoon?
I could know she's I think she's still on honeymoon.
I hope she is, because she got married on Saturday. She shouldn't be back. She shouldn't be back at work yet. Everybody else? Everybody fine? Good.
I have one question for you, man.
Of course, anytime.
Questions 1 to 13. Where did that come from? What chapter?
Questions 1 to 13.
Yeah, because I don't know where that came from.
You're referring to the class test?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I was lost. Chapters 5, 6, 7, 8. What? Wait. I've got it here. I just don't know where that came from. Like, I just don't know.
You completely stumped me. Let me just open another screen here so I can actually have that class test in front of me, and then I can answer your question.
If you don't mind, I just want to know which chapter, because I was lost. Questions 1 to 13. I don't know where that came from. I don't know. Did I study something wrong, or feels like I studied the wrong book even. No. And then I ran out of time. I got a little bit panicky in those, and then I ran out of time at the end, and I think I lost like 2 or 3 questions because I ran out of time.
Right.
But that's 1 to 13. What chapter, please?
Responsibility.
11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, I think, was the test, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And
11, 11, 12, 13, and 14.
14 and 15. That was for the tests on. That was for the test on Thursday. But questions
okay.
questions 1 to 13. I don't know where that came from. I felt like an idiot.
I've not in my test. I've got the test open here. I've not in the test specifically indicated what chapters they are from. I will quickly go through it this afternoon, and then we can chat about this tomorrow. I can give you proper feedback, Andre.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem at all.
Lekker.
Right. You guys happy with your results, your assignment, and your term test?
Was the one on Thursday the term test?
No. Your formal test that you wrote and your
Yeah, I'm very happy. Thank you.
Very happy.
Yeah.
And with the assignment?
I just looked at my final grade. My plan is to finish. Oh wow. Assignment are not yet graded. My assignment says not yet graded.
Okay, then maybe I've not opened it up. I haven't made it visible yet. It's been graded. I just probably haven't made it visible yet. Okay, I'll just do that.
Is that 100%?
No.
Come on, man, Yoku. Give us 100, man.
You guys are still not referencing properly. You will never get 100% until you get your referencing correct.
Are you serious? I know. I'm a bit weak on that. Damn it, man.
No, but that wasn't it. You didn't lose any marks necessarily for that. But right. I'll get back to you on class test 4. I've made a note, class test 4. Just to see where those questions came from, and then no, anybody else? Any other questions, people? Yeah, good luck, as I said, in planning your days in the next couple of days with stage 4 load shedding. I completely understand that it's going to be very, very disruptive. I had a look at my timetable. If I stay at my home office, which I'm currently considering very strongly because I don't feel great, and I don't want to go too far from my bathroom yet, is that I don't have for our classes scheduled for tomorrow and Friday. I'm not going to be affected by load shedding. I'm not sure. I don't have access to all your zones that you're in, so I'm not sure. If you have any problems, the recordings will be done. The recordings will be uploaded every day. The slides will be uploaded every day. And tomorrow specifically, what I will do is I'm going to also, when I upload today's recordings later today, I will also upload the rest of the PDF slides, revision slides, because we'll be doing chapter 9, 10, 11, and 12 tomorrow over the 2 periods. Then you can read through them in advance and maybe check maybe if you have any questions. Okay, because that's reducing 4 chapters to 25 slides because we're highlighting just the important aspects. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody? We'll be out of power in 3 minutes. I will be out of power in 3 minutes. Any questions?
No, we're good. Thanks, Jaco.
All good. Just very fatigued. You're quite right. And I think that's the reason why my system has crashed and I've got the stomach bug 3. So I'm just going to go with it and make the best of it and hang in there. If the power's off, there's nothing we can do. If the power's on, we do more. Simple as that.
Look after yourself, man.
Okay. Keep well, everybody. We'll chat again tomorrow. I'm going to stop recording now and then upload it later this afternoon.
Thanks, Jaco.
Thanks very much. Keep well, everybody. Teresa.